Hey BCC Kids and Families, Andrea Murdoch here. For the month of September, we're talking about friendship. We define friendship as using words and actions to show others you care. Last week, we talked about how important it is to choose our friends carefully. We learned that good friends help each other, have each other's back, and most importantly, trust God together. This week, we're going to learn that good friends love each other. Our story is from 1 Samuel chapter 20, and it's about two very good friends.
A long time ago, God's people asked him for a king to lead them. And so God gave them a king named Saul. But he was not a good king. So God wanted to give them a different king, and he chose a young man named David. Now, David was best friends with a guy named Jonathan. But Jonathan was Saul's son. So if Saul was the king, that means Jonathan was basically the prince. And when Saul was done being king, it was supposed to be Jonathan's turn. Jonathan could have gotten really angry and tried to hurt David when he found out David would be the new king. Instead, he stayed friends with David. Once, when they were fighting in battle and David did really well, Jonathan gave him his robe, belt, sword, and bow as gifts to honor him. One time, Saul told all of his men, including his son Jonathan, to hurt David. Do you think Jonathan did it? No. Jonathan helped his friend hide and then went to talk to his dad. When Saul promised not to hurt David, he invited him for a special dinner. But David and Jonathan were afraid that Saul was playing a trick. They came up with a plan to find out if David was in danger. David would hide in a field, and Jonathan would go and tell his dad that David wasn't going to be able to make it. If Saul got angry, Jonathan would know that he wanted to hurt David. And it turns out that they were right. David was in danger. When Jonathan realized his dad still wanted to hurt him, he ran outside and shot arrows far out into the field. This meant that David needed to run far away to be safe from King Saul. After this happened, David and Jonathan met up one last time before David left, and they promised that they would be friends forever.
Instead of being mad that David would be the king instead of him, Jonathan chose to love his friend. He gave him gifts, shared his things with him, and even kept him safe from King Saul. The bottom line here, kids, is good friends love each other. Friendship is about loving others the way that God loves us. Now, before I go, we're going to practice our Bible verse one more time. Ready? Okay, let's see if you remember it. A friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes. Proverbs 17:17. All right, guys, it's good to see you. I'll talk to you next week. Be a good friend.